Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. This is Jason. Let's talk a little bit about Tesla. Tesla is in trouble. Deep systematic trouble that goes beyond some of the recent behavior of its CEO. Now, I do need to preface this video by saying that I no longer own Tesla stock. I'm not going to be buying the dip, and I am definitely not a fan of Elon, even though in the past I was. Let's talk a little bit, though, about why I think buying the dip from an objective standpoint would probably be a little bit premature, because I think a lot of Tesla's troubles are going to take a long time to work out because of how deep and systematic they are. Let's talk a little bit first about how Tesla's rise was fueled by a very unique time in history. So we're going to push this all the way back to like 2008 or so, when we start looking at the push for alternative transportation and a lot of the government support that was out there. Some of it was just moral support, but a lot of it was this push for alternative transportation that was fueled by tax credits, grants, tax deductions, and preferential loans. And these came in waves to Tesla to the tune of billions of dollars. That was accompanied by some really stellar brand building by Tesla's management team, PR team, and by Elon Musk himself. But the real big drivers of revenue and the ability to pay off those early debts were carbon offset sales, something called, and this is very important, something called zero coupon convertible bonds, and secondary stock offerings. Tesla initially went into a lot of debt many times, and they ended up paying off a lot of that debt using these zero coupon convertible bonds and secondary stock offerings. A zero coupon convertible bond is a bond that pays no interest that can be converted into shares if shares reach a certain strike price. Tesla was one of the only companies at this time that was using these. And they would offer a bond, sell it for $1,000. You buy that bond. Tesla's not paying you any interest. But let's say, back in 2008, the shares of Tesla went up to $40 a share. Well, then you were able to convert that into 25 shares for that $1,000 bond. So that era is over because we're no longer in a zero interest environment. And you won't find any bank able to underwrite a zero coupon bond at in this environment when interest rates are so high. The second way that they were able to manage debt was with secondary stock offerings. The market for secondary stock offerings has dropped off of a cliff since right around 2022, and I just don't think that the market has the same appetite for that as they did in the past. So the environment that created Tesla no longer exists. Those opportunities really aren't there. And let's talk about what's happening with Tesla right now. And one of the reasons why I think that Elon Musk is going off the deep end is because he can see this coming. Tesla is facing a collapse in overseas sales, and it doesn't have everything to do with his behavior. It really begins in China. Tesla's market share in China is basically frozen. Tesla's exports from China to other countries are rapidly declining, and you could basically say that they're cratering at this point. And the reason, once again, really isn't all about his behavior. It really has to do with this. Tesla is simply being out-innovated and outproduced. Elon Musk's foray into politics has really only hastened this decline. Now, Tesla's brand destruction that's going on right now is going to have serious and long-term effects on its ability to recover from what is really a competitive time period for the company. This is coming at a really bad time when European, Australian, and Canadian sales are rapidly falling. And I really don't know what can be done to repair the brand image in those markets, even if politics were suddenly to change in the United States and Elon suddenly went back to the guy he was before. I don't think that the brand recovers in those markets. And those are the major markets that can really afford his products. So long term, I think that Tesla actually faces existential challenges without government intervention in the form of trade protections like tariffs or outright banning Chinese electric vehicles from not only entering U.S. markets, but from entering Canadian, European, and Australian markets as well. And I don't think that's going to happen, particularly in European and Australian markets. This really is because Tesla has already been overtaken in terms of quality and technology by dozens of foreign vehicle manufacturers, not just in China. Now, this was always a possibility, but the brand of Tesla and brand loyalty was supposed to insulate them against those challenges, much like Apple's brand insulates it from competition to a degree. This protection, because of Elon's behavior, is rapidly being eroded. Now, 5 years ago, Tesla was one of the top 5 battery cell producers in the world. Today, they're not even in the top 10, and they source all of those batteries overseas in markets like China, Korea, and Japan. Tesla's products are almost certainly going to face more tariffs in European markets on top of an apparent boycott. Competition, however, is the main driver of declining Tesla sales. In China, there's a company called BYD. This company is a monster. It is absolutely driving cost cuts and innovation across multiple market sectors. Tesla has dozens of competitors like piranhas that are biting off tiny slices of market share in almost all their foreign markets. Tesla is also objectively no longer a leader in technology, period. They are no longer a leader in technology, even in their luxury brands, now that BYD has launched Denza, a luxury brand, and Xiaomi is producing vehicles. They've gone from almost zero in production to 8,300 registrations just last week in the luxury car market, whereas Tesla only had 13,500. It's only a matter of time before Tesla loses that top spot in the luxury market in China, and this is a huge driver of their revenues for the company overall. BYD has absolutely destroyed them in the entry-level market. So BYD offers a vehicle called the Seal for $9,300, and their version of full self-driving comes for free with that vehicle. It isn't just BYD that Tesla needs to worry about. Outside of the protective bubble of the United States, Tesla faces these piranhas everywhere, and they're nibbling at their market share in virtually every market by offering products that are in one way or another superior to Tesla's current lineup for that particular customer. Now, I'm unsure also the big project that Tesla has going on right now, self-driving taxis. I am unsure that they are the revenue generator that the rest of Wall Street analysts think that it's going to be. The effect may actually be an overall reduction in car ownership, period. And as society changes and prices are driven downwards by other companies who are actually ahead of Tesla in terms of self-driving technology, offering autonomous taxi services or subscription model, I just don't think that this is going to long-term generate the revenue that a couple of famous analysts think that it will. So Tesla's survival challenges are far different than they were in 2008. Even setting aside the brand destruction created by Elon's behavior, the company faces existential market challenges, and the old tricks of the trade that were used to bridge those financial gaps, those financial tricks like zero coupon convertible bonds and secondary stock offerings, those are either no longer available or they are vastly more expensive. So this is why that I'm going to advise in this video to be very careful when it comes to buying the dip. The dip down to 230, 245, whatever it is today, is not enough, in my opinion, to justify a purchase based on current revenues and based on what I think are projected revenues and projected car sales. Let's remember that the vast majority of Tesla's revenue comes from car sales and carbon offset credits. If those don't increase, then the ability to fund Tesla's other projects is in jeopardy. So be very cautious, guys. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.